So it's so nice to meet you, Eydie. What I'd like to do is have you introduce yourself and explain the system that you work in, the institution, and what your area of scholarship is. Why don't we start that way?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really delighted to be here and engage in this thought-provoking and essential conversation. So my name is Eydie Kramer Kostecka. I'm a research professional at the University of Minnesota. I've done quite a bit of work in the realm of community engaged research, particularly in rural spaces in South Central Minnesota. And I also do an equal share of work in the metropolitan Twin Cities area in Minnesota, the Minneapolis and St. Paul region. My work there really centers around community partnered fitness interventions and programmatic interventions that take place in parks.
These are two of your uh, publications abstracts that have been made public in the last few years. And so I thought we would start by talking about them. Why don't we talk about mapping community and neighborhood level access to rural physical activity built environments? Well, let me back up first. How do you explain the built environment to people if you have to explain it, um, let's say in a public meeting? Do you talk about it? How do you talk about it?
Yes, absolutely. So when I think about the built environment, I think about it in a very practical way and a person-centered way. So if we were to ask our neighbor or a colleague about the built environment, we'd really be talking about the environment that's most pertinent to them. So what's available in your neighborhood, right? So what assets are available in your neighborhood? That could be a combination of natural assets and then man-made assets as well. So do you have access to trails in your neighborhoods? Do you have access to sidewalks? Are those sidewalks interconnected or are they disconnected where sidewalks and trails are only on one side of the street or you have to cross a very busy highway to get to and from access points in your neighborhoods like a school or the grocery store? I'm in the field of physical activity, so I particularly think about the built environment in terms of what's available that can facilitate active behavior. So I might ask somebody, what's available in your neighborhood that you can easily utilize with pedestrian methods, so by walking or riding your bike, or if you were to use public transit or a personal vehicle. So are you able to get to a pool in your neighborhood? Are you able to get to a nearby park? Is there a community center in your neighborhood? And then are there a variety of other public assets in your neighborhood that support health behaviors that are so important and complement physical activity? So for example, do you have a neighborhood grocery store? Are you able to access all the groceries that you need at that store? Would you have to find another means of transportation to access, say, for example, fresh fruits and vegetables? Do you have a library in your neighborhood? Do you have a place where you can meet with folks and engage in joyful social interaction, things of that nature? So really, if you were to do just a bird's eye view of what's available in your neighborhood, I would ask somebody, please describe to me what you can walk to. And then maybe what could you drive to within 10 minutes that's easily accessible for you and your family?
Those are really good questions. I like that. That makes it very simple. What can you walk to and what can you drive to? And then thinking about what you cannot get because you can't walk to it and what you cannot get because you can't drive to it. I love that. That's very, very straightforward.